how can you take your brand page on Facebook and power that in order to gain access to, whether it be fans, friends of fans, essentially your consumers, whether they be existing consumers or future ones, and the ability to communicate. So the nature of that own media page, that brand page, it's really about how do you go about marketing that, and that's where we get into, and this is part of the study, is looking at what type of value and what type of uplift comes from your paid media, which of course is sponsored posts, promoted whatever, right? Display ads, those different things. And then combining that with your earned media, which is when you have fans, right? So people like you, they are a fan of your page, and then that will show up in not only their own news feeds and you're able to communicate with them, but also the ability for their friends to see that my friend A likes this brand, and that type of impression and the value that comes from it. As far as the study is concerned, it's really the ability for comScore together with Facebook in a variety of techniques that I won't bore you with all of them right now. You can read the paper. But the idea of being able to connect together those online impressions, so people that were not exposed in any capacity to things in the news feed, the promoted posts or the likes and the different things, with people that were, and then being able to track that to over the course of the next 4 weeks, what type of uplift was there in actual purchase offline. So our ability to go ahead and analyze that, you're able to see with Starbucks is that people that have been exposed to, fans, so people that have been exposed to Starbucks, whether it be offers or coupons or even just any type of branding message, as well as the amplification effect, friends of fans, what they saw would show up in their news feeds and whatnot. You saw a lift in actual offline purchase. I mean, for fans, I believe it was about a 2 times lift, and even for the friends of fans, it was maybe an 8 or 10% lift. So absolutely, we're able to draw back, based on the methodology of that particular, the white paper and the case study, that there was a causal relationship between those exposures and the actual lift in offline purchase. The amplification ratio, that comes about as just the average amplification that you get based on if you have a fan, and then through that you have access to the friends of the fans, that ends up being the average amplification, okay? So it's as simple as the amplification comes from having fans. That's really the central theme of how that happens. It isn't just as simple as we have fans, because there are a lot of places that have fans, and lots of fans have friends and things like that, but it's coming up with the appropriate marketing mix. Again, we feel based on what we're able to see, a combined paid and earned strategy to be able to push the owned assets really is what drove the greatest results-oriented latent response.